Hello, everyone. My name is Michael, and this is the Metaphysical Journey. This will be a pick a card reading, and I'll be pulling from the Viking Oracle by Stacey Demarco. So what I'd like for you to do is think about a question that you have that you need an answer to, because I'm going to be pulling rune cards, and runes are really great for giving us ideas of how our intended action or decision can potentially play out. So think of a question. And while you're doing that, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. I'm trying to boost my numbers, so thank you. So card number 1, number 2, or number 3. If you selected card number 1, this one is Ansus. Ansus. And this is a card about communication. So whatever you're deciding on, the message here is, are you being clear in what you want? Are you communicating and getting your point across to people? Now, communication in all forms. So this involves thoughts, your words, and just conversation with people. So thoughts, your words, and listening to others. We live in a world where people don't listen. They really don't. And we don't have a lot of communication. Anytime two people disagree on something, that's considered an argument, and it's a bad thing. People do not want to hear something contrary to what they believe. They don't listen for other perspectives. And this is where you can have an advantage. And that's what this card is showing, is that the Norse believe that our life, basically, in our spirit, came into our life when we took our first breath. And that spirit left our life when we took our last breath. So everything in between is all about our life. And also, too, that we are a product of all of the family members that came before us, all of our ancestors. Now, think about your life. Your family's been around for ever, pretty much. You know, who knows how far back it goes. But you are here today because people from your family line and all the family lines connected to you, they survived. Now, how did they survive? They weren't constantly in war. They went to war, they fought when they had to, but they also knew how to get along and how to communicate with each other. So when this card shows up, this rune, one of the things to consider is really taking a step back in these interactions that you have with people. So if you're wanting to move forward with something, some plan, some dream that you have, it's very important that you clearly communicate what your needs are. At the same time, if you're having conflict with someone, it's very important that you listen to what their needs are. What are they actually saying? Because when you listen closely and don't just listen to respond and don't just listen to hear what you want to hear, listen to what they truly have to say, because you will find very often there is common ground there. And that's something that you can both build on in order to move forward. The other thing in this communication, and as you're planning how you want to do something, communication also involves knowing when not to talk, when to keep secrets. It's not a bad thing that if you have this idea of something you want to do with your life, and or even more importantly, let's say you want to make a major change, a shift, you want to just kind of change course. If you say that and tell people, it gives them more opportunity to come against you, or I'm not going to say attack, but attack you with their ideas and opinions of what they think you should be doing. So it's knowing when to keep quiet, knowing when to communicate, and knowing when not to communicate. But when you do communicate, really think back about your ancestors and how they did it. And also follow your intuition. That's another form of communication you have with them, because you are always connected to them. So instead of just reacting to something, just think about it and decide, I'm going to respond, and ask the ancestors to help you with that. It sounds weird to say that, but they will, because they've got this. They did this for a long, long time, and all the people before you. So they know how to communicate. They know from personal experience what worked, and they also know what didn't work. Now, we live in different times, but people are people, and ego is still ego. So Ansus, Really pay attention to how you communicate, how you listen, and also your thoughts. Because even in your thoughts, you are in constant communication with the universe. And what you put out there sets the stage for what's ultimately going to end up coming back to you. So we shape our reality, we shape our world, and we come from a long line of people before us that did the exact same thing. So they know how it turned out and they know how to help us to navigate us forward in that. So, Ansus, consider your communication and be clear in what you want and what you want to say to others and how you listen to them. If you selected card number 2, this card indicates that there may be some healing, recuperation, and also sanctuary needed in your life right now as you are considering what you are planning to do. This card has the energy of the birch goddess, or a grove of birch trees. Birch are the trees that first come to life in the spring. So this is about fertility and new life, new growth. So it's very possible that in your life right now, you are really wanting to make some major changes. You want something new to happen. You've decided that you want to step forward, to come forward as a new type of person. Now, in the birch grove, it is a place of protection and sanctuary, but it's also a place that you would go to for concealment of something. You can stay hidden in there for a while. And I said in the beginning that you may be in need of some healing, recuperation, and sanctuary. So in the last card, talked about in communication of knowing when to talk and also knowing when not to talk. So this is a time with this card. Secrecy is important. Not secrecy to be deceptive, but just going within and keeping to yourself, allowing yourself the opportunity to change into the person you want to be in privacy without everyone else's opinions coming at you. You're going through a transformation. Something new is going to be stepping forward. And it's important that right now you give yourself the time you need in order to have that birth process naturally. So with Berkano, this one, it goes very nicely with the next card that's going to actually be coming up. So if you chose cards 2 and 3, they'll work really well together for you. But in this one, whatever you're doing, whatever you're planning, it's in the natural order of things. And this card indicates that there is a new birth, a new thing that's coming forward. And right now, before any birth, it's painful, the birth pains before something comes. You're going through a challenging time. It's been very heavy for you, very hard. And you've struggled in order to make this change happen. Give yourself some time to rest and heal and prepare for what comes forward. And do that with as much secrecy and privacy as possible to keep outside influences from coming in and disrupting what you want to do with your life. So that's card number 2, Berkano. If you chose card number 3, this is Lagos, and it literally means lake. So you have body of water. I mentioned in card number 2 that if you chose 2 and 3, these go really well together. And some of you choose all of them, and I understand that. And so far they've flowed really well, one to the next, and now we have the last one, Lagos. In Berkano, I mentioned the birch grove, a place of sanctuary for healing, because that also includes things such as purification, regeneration type of things, just transforming everything. And in Lagos, this continues, that it is a time of new journey or discovery or voyage. Now, if your question, and you just chose card number 3, and your question is, should I go on that cruise or not? Well, with this card, yeah, it looks like it'll be a good thing. Just go on that voyage. because it has to do with that as well. But this really has a lot to do, when we look at the esoteric type of thing, it has a lot to do with our inner journey, our exploration of ourself, and the water. And water is emotion and the things that we deal with. So if you are from card number 2 and something new is growing or changing, card number 3 could be what that is. It's to do with intuition as well. So perhaps the changes that you are going through right now, even if you just chose this card only, you know that you've been having some new experiences. You're changing. You can feel that change. Things are shifting, and it's very confusing sometimes. Like, what is happening? What's going on? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I exhausted? You know, why is life not the same as it was a year ago or even 6 months ago? What's different? And this card shows up to let you know that there is a journey that you may need to go on before you can really move a lot further in life, because you have to deal with some things. And that is the exploration of the depths within yourself. With this meaning lake or water, body of water, ocean or something, we hear it said a lot that besides the final frontier of space, which we only know so much about, there's also the frontier on Earth of the ocean, the depths of the ocean. We don't know that much about that whole area. We're learning more all the time, but there's not a lot we really do know what's really down there. You also don't know what's in the depths of yourself. There's a whole unexplored world. For you in your life, that truly is the final frontier. And that's an area that we're not comfortable going into. And we do shadow work, but that's often very surface. And we're looking at in that it seems to be heavily focused on either past lives from before, or it's focused on childhood trauma, those types of things. But apart from those, what is inside of you? What really shapes you as a person and drives your life forward? We have as well, I mentioned in the last card, we have the ancestors that we come from, and all of the decisions that they made, that's within us as well. We have access to all that knowledge. And also we do certain things. We have traits or personalities, gifts and abilities that we don't even know where they came from, but they come from the people before us. So we're not separated from anyone. We are truly connected, not only to the people around us in the present day, but we're still connected to those that came before us in the past. And that's part of the depths of who you are. So if this card shows up right now, it may be a good time for you to go on this journey of self-discovery, go within the depths of who you are, and ask your guides and the other side for help in seeing what you need to see to help you best navigate your life from this point forward. It's a brand new thing coming out, a whole new way of living, a whole new you based on how you want to be moving forward. And your ancestors are there to help you to answer those questions. But we get caught up in looking for answers somewhere external out there. So if I want to know what to do, I will go to someone and ask them for help or guidance, to tell me. We're always looking outside of ourselves for the answers because we don't believe we have them inside, but we do. We've just not explored that yet. So Lagus, navigate the depths of yourself and see what's there. You might just be surprised. That was card number 3, Lagus. Thank you everyone for playing along tonight and choosing a card. I hope that you found the answer you were seeking, or at least I've given you something to think about as you move forward with the decisions that you make. We are the most amazing, wonderful beings of light, and we know so little about ourselves. There's always something new to explore, and there's always something new for us to learn about ourselves that helps us be stronger people, just as our ancestors were. We have that as well. And when you know more about yourself and you become stronger, it makes you more confident. And because of that, you are able to help others as well. And isn't that really what we're here about? To help others and to understand and help others also understand that we are truly connected more than we want to realize. Anyway, thank you for following on the metaphysical journey. If you haven't subscribed, please take this opportunity to do so. And you have a beautiful night. Bye.